And after the conclusion of the landmark free trade agreement, the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, and the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, have posed with leaders from both countries at the India-EU Business Forum, which is underway at the Bharat Mandapam right now. You can see the visuals coming in from there as the two leaders stand with the people over there and pose for a summit. And clearly, this business forum is where they are interacting with private enterprises as well. Joining us right now is India Today's Aishwarya Chetan and also Business Today's Chetan Bhutani. Thank you very much. Aishwarya, first coming to you. This picture says many things. Prime Minister and the EU chief standing there with many, many important people. Tell us, how important is this meeting of the two leaders?
Well, Anjali, let me just break it down for you. If we speak about India's trading partners, at number one, we have the US. Number two is the European Union. And it's not just now. Over the past many months, we have been hearing how India and the European Union, both of them together, were working on this deal. And that's the reason why they're calling it the mother of all deals. Now, see, what has happened over the past at least 1 year is the kind of tariff slapping that has happened from the United States of America. That is something that the world was not ready for. But that actually led to extreme levels of volatility, not just in trade, but even in economies across the globe. The countries understood that they needed some kind of a safe mechanism. They also needed new trading partners. That's exactly what Prime Minister Modi and the BJP has been speaking about, at least over the past few months. And this is a culmination of hard work that has taken place at least over the past 1 year. But let me just tell you, what we are seeing now, the full fruition of this will actually happen by early next year, which means by early 2027, we will see the deal fully kick in, because there are certain things that still need to be worked out. And the place where I'm standing, Anjali, at the moment, in just a couple of minutes, we will see Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal also coming out, giving out a statement and breaking down what exactly this deal entails, both for the European Union as well as for India. Anjali.
Right, absolutely. Do stay with us. Chetan, this picture that we are talking about, of course, Prime Minister Modi there with the EU chief and the business leaders. So who are the all-important people who have been invited for this forum, and what is the agenda of this business forum?
The agenda always usually revolves around how to strengthen the announcements, because we see when the particular sectors are involved, the business leaders from both the countries are invited to have a conversation as to how take the conversation forward and how to solve out the legal ratifications and of course the ramifications of the particular trade deal. But from what I see from the visuals that are coming out, is clearly three sectors that are currently winning the whole game. First of all is the food and drinks game, the services game, and the small businesses. First of all, let's talk about the services business. Banking, finance, and shipping is what the three sectors that would really be a big beneficiary, because we'll see European banks eventually coming into the Indian space. We'll also see European shipping companies eventually starting to make investments in India and really opening up India's blue economy for the shipping sector as well. Well, talking about the food and drinks, European countries would probably have more access to the Indian market, and vice versa as far as wine and alcohol, beer, olive oil, juices, biscuits, pasta, fruits and meat. But of course, if in dairy and agriculture is the protected market for India, for you it is the rice, sugar and the beef sector, so which India would be restraining from. Of course, on the second point, what really I feel is the automobile segment. Of course, not much price cuts to be expected, because 95% of the manufacturing happens in India. But yes, overall it's a nice gesture for both the countries to actually participate in the automobile space, because that's clearly helping the economy grow. So yes, these 3 to 4 sectors are the key beneficiaries, and subsequently the business owners and the business industries would be meeting and discussing about actually how to implement it. As my colleague Aishwarya was also pointing out, that these implementation would take time, because it has to be ratified by the houses of parliament for this country, and of course with the mid 2028 or end 2027 we expect for the whole FTAs to start kicking in, and of course the benefits and the actions should be coming in by then only.
Right, of course. And also the idea is to ensure that all the shocks that we have been experiencing for past few months in the global economy, and as our government has been saying, the global order as well, that needs to be kind of, the shocks need to be removed, the impact needs to be eased. So meeting the business leaders and trying to find a way forward, how can that help?
Very clearly, when the government and the stakeholders meet, they actually meet to solve out the issues on the table, because it's the industry, it's the businesses that would actually have to implement this on the ground. They would have to put the capital expenditure, they would have to put in the investments, and the government can only be a partner for smooth, smooth implementation, and be a facilitator rather than be the investment maker. So the government would definitely try to cut the red tapeism from across, from both the countries, be it from India to EU or from EU to India. That's what the whole agenda is all about, because these particular transactions require a lot of legal vetting. They require a lot of market access. A lot of state governments have to get involved. Various countries have to get involved. So in order to clarify and just to make the process smoother and get the timelines from the businesses to the respective governments, this is what the whole point of discussions would be, and how much each company industry would be benefiting or having some disappointments, that could probably be exchanged.
Right. Chetan and Aishwarya, do stay on with us. So clearly, as this business forum is underway,